Hey, welcome to the semifinals of the sixth MGM here in Berlin. I'm Toffel and I'm here with Thomas.
Thomas, hello.
Yeah, nice that you're here. We're watching Luca against Karl Florian. Luca on the left playing his, very personal style of Jeskai semi-control combo aggro mix up, would you say?
He, he has this Pestermite Splinter Twin combo in it. This is an interesting dimension which he adds to the deck. Not every Jeskai deck does this. We saw Eustace earlier. He didn't have this combo. So basically what you're doing is you're sacrificing a little bit of individual card power for the possibility of a combo finish. And it fits the game plan of Jeskai, which wants to hold counter mana up and then can choose to either counter a spell or play a flash creature and always threatens the combo. That is kind of a cool thing. He is against a red deck wins or a mono red aggro, which I guess is quite a good matchup for your deck because you have stuff like, as you can already see, Lightning Helix and other life gainers. Although the hand is not a keep, I think, for Luca. Or maybe you could keep because of the scrying tag. It's kind of dangerous though.
Yeah, it depends. If you're on the draw, I guess the hand is a bit more capable, and even on the play, I think um, you might be able to play a Jace on turn two that probably gets killed, but even though everything that your creatures get and you don't get are okay. And
Right. You could
then
also turn to ice your opponent's land maybe to just hit another
exactly.
card.
And there's some, I think it's fair because you only need one land. It has to be a specific land, like specifically red blue lands would be perfect. But even if you draw just an island, it's fine, or just a mountain, it's fine.
Yeah. The longer I look at the hand, I think it's a keep. I mean, you have really you have one of your best spells in the matchup, which is the Lightning Helix, and maybe even the possibility to buy it back with Jace, but we have to see if it comes to that. So I can see the keep.
I actually think the hand on the play is keepable, which might be the case that Lucas on the play, and on the draw, it seems like a clear mulligan. Because you don't want to spend your time scrying for a land and then playing a Jace which gets killed and stuff. Like
Yeah.
if Kai Florian starts with one drop into two drop, then even your ice or your Jace doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
And
You can't use those turns just to look for lands. You have to interact with the red opponent.
and here we see a little land heavy hand this time, paired with Goblin Guide, Vexing Devil, and Incinerate.
This is a hand which is so often the case with mono red, can easily win the game if you rip three spells from the top, or just lose horribly if you rip like two lands and a spell.
Luca gets the beautiful scry of a mountain, which is exactly what he needed.
Yes.
It's specifically perfect because one of the most feared cards from the mono red is Price of Progress, and having some basics to deal with getting not a lot of damage is very good.
He
Uh,
likes to see the Goblin Guide here, right?
yes, that's perfect.
Somehow.
So yeah, sure, I take this mountain.
I take this. I have the Helix.
Yeah, and you can even see one of the also there are a lot of single cards in mono red that are specifically dangerous for some deck types. For example, Vortex is very crucial for some matchups.
Yes.
And also one of the cards is Shrine of Burning Rage because it just sits in play, it ticks up, it gets like we saw it in the last MGM about to 8 counters, and then you just use it for the last Ultimate Blast. But the
But
next day,
look at this hands. The Helix will take care of the Goblin Guy. Then maybe he will deploy Shrine, and Dark Faden will just steal it.
yes, and then basically the game just ends.
Right? It collapses from there for Karl Florian.
You have as a one red player, you have to hope that your threats stick as long as they need to be there, and half a turn or even less than half a turn is not good
Right.
enough. Yeah, see here, very good. How many life gain spells are in the Jeskai lists?
Well, there's Lightning Helix. I guess Luca is playing a Jeskai Charm. There's also Ajani Vengeance. I think he doesn't play Kitchen Finks, but he could actually play it. So if you want to shore up that matchup, you have more than enough tools in these colors. So there's the steel on the problematic
Yeah.
part, but as I said earlier in the other game, you usually don't plan on Duck Fade and stealing artifacts, but when he does, it's basically the best thing it can do.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's going to be really difficult.
Yes.
Jessica Eason has a win option now. You just like, okay, I answered this, I answered that. The shrine ticks up. That's the usual mono red feeling, you know? Like,
Right. He even has red spells to additionally put counters on it. Vendilion Click might apply some additional pressure. I think Treasure Cruise will then refuel. So his line for how the game should go is very clear. And for Karl Florian, there has to really happen quite a bit to get back into this.
yeah, mono red is not known for the supreme spells to draw. Like,
Yes.
there's not a cruel ultimatum you can cast or something.
Right. I mean,
So
there is this idea of mono red being a combo deck that needs to chain together 7 spells that deal like 20 damage.
yeah.
He needs this critical mass, and right now he's operating on an Incinerate and a 4/3, and that is not quite enough.
So and even in this whole process, Luca is still fixing his draws. We see here now the Treasure Cruise will be able to be cast very soon. The Pestomite, the Click, also just able to block some pitches, prevent some damage, maybe even just putting on the aggressive side.
Yes, and this is the
And
beauty of Doug Faden, really. He just does everything this deck wants to do. He filters your draws, gets you your business spells, he fuels up Delve, he makes sure you always have some relevant cards to interact with your opponent. All the while even threatening the ultimate, which is good in the Jeskai deck because of stuff like Fire Eyes and Electrolyze and so on. It's basically just the perfect mixture of everything.
yeah, and it's even a card that costs 3 mana. Like, it's such a good slot for a planeswalker, as we can see from Liliana and stuff. And there's so many planeswalkers who don't look as good, but just because they cost 3 mana, uh, they're just good enough because you can drop them early.
Yes.
And being on 4 loyalty when you play him in plus is also very strong.
It's not that easy to kill.
So now, how would you like think of a game plan when you look at? You just say, "Ah, it doesn't really matter what I do, or are you afraid of something?"
No, I mean, as far as I know, Luca doesn't know the cards in Karl Florian's hand, and there could be like a flurry of burn spells, something like Price of Progress and Fire Blast would be cards I'm afraid of right now.
Mm.
Um, and I'm surely playing around those. He needs to he needs to still be a little bit careful because of the fear he has. Of course, if he would know that, oh my God, a fourth mountain, that this is what he's up against. There's like basically any line brings him the win. He will now play around those big haymakers, Price of Progress on the forefront. Okay, so Luca taps the devil with the ice part of Fire Ice, draws a card, which is a Mantis Rider. I think that's very good for him. It speeds up his clock considerably.
Yeah, he also has the option to control some of the draw steps with the click and draw more cards and basically everything you ever want to do.
Right. Here he draws a Chain Lightning, which can be a little bit of a complicated card against the mono red deck because your opponent can shoot back. We will see how this goes.
Yeah, usually you wait for a spot when your opponent, if the opponent is playing red, is tapped out or something, that you can use it for 3 damage. But we know that Carl has a lot of lands in his hand,
That
so
won't happen in the near future.
yeah. So Jace uh, flips the best Jace right now for Highlander. I
No,
think
no.
no.
Jace the Mind Sculptor still reigns supreme, I would say.
Is
This Jace
there?
has the I mean it just dies so often. That's a little bit problematic with it. Um, but it's I think number 2.
Yeah, it's very interesting when cards that are pretty new get staples so fast. And whenever there's new spoilers, you could look like for more cards that could win too. Okay, we have I think that's an Ember
It's an Ember Hauler.
Hauler.
A 2/2 sacrifices for 1 colorless mana to shoot 2 damage to target creature or player.
Obviously, it was much better when you had damage on stack.
I think Ember Hauler was never legal when damage still went on the stack. I
I
think
think
it's
there was I think there was an earlier version of this.
there
That
was something like Goblin Legionnaires, a red
yeah,
white creature that did the same
exactly,
thing basically.
exactly. Um, yeah, always nice when your opponent reads your card. Like, what are you playing? Is there a merit to play something like Hiritsugo's Second Right that could get your opponent down even from a high life total?
I don't know. I think it's too situational of a card. Um, Also, 4 mana is like the top end of the red deck, and usually you have Koth of the Hammer there and nothing else. Maybe something like Keldon Champion. So I think Hidetsugu's right doesn't make the cut because of this.
Yeah, we see the click now reveals what we already know. There's only mountains. And now it should be pretty straightforward because Luca knows there's basically no defense.
Right,
There's the flashback helix here. Also very nice. It's not always good when it's turn 6 and your opponent is on more than his starting life total for a burn deck. And
there's an attack.
yeah, Ember Hollow also not really dangerous because of Jace.
Right,
Uh, it has not even the ability to attack for damage. It could kill the click, uh, but then again, you have to think, what's your line now?
right. Where's the big plan behind this? I think Karl Florian wants to somehow spare for a critical mass of damage or cards. Just have to hope that he can stick enough stuff that he can somehow that somehow amounts to a little bit of pressure, but it will be hard.
Well, Rebel Master is not a bad start. If that sticks around, it's at least some nice creatures over a few turns.
Right.
And actually, I think the Ember Hauler is a goblin. So that would make it maybe a bit more dangerous. Press the might here, tapping something. Yes, the Ember Hauler. And gets the token. Token have to attack, so probably attacking here Jace. Is there maybe an idea that attacking Jace doesn't do you any good?
No, I think you want to bring him down from 3 to 2 loyalty, so he cannot flashback the Stagger Shock or the Fire Ice.
Yeah, that would be kind of horrible. Although Stagger Shock at least I think doesn't go into rebound mode. Because if I remember correctly, then rebound only works from your hand.
Yes, it does.
Uh, which is not like there are a lot of interaction, especially in Highlander, and that's why it's such a diverse and interesting format. There's so many stuff that normal Magic doesn't really get to see. Like if you play like standard or modern, you have a lot of routine situations and a lot of the same cards. And in Highlander, you have so much space for experimenting, playing some
Right.
cards you like.
That's true.
Very, very interesting.
I remember when Narset Transcended was printed that I was thinking,
Mm.
oh my god, I can flashback Lingering Souls and rebound it again, but it doesn't work.
Mm.
So there's little rules intricacies here and there.
Okay, so if you look, how long do you think this game is going to last now? Do you try to make it fast and kill, or do you think like, okay, I have it in the back, I don't really need to hurry?
At this point, I would play it super conservatively. There's no rush. You're still at 21 life. You just choose a line that handles with every problematic permanent and go from there.
So you would kill the Rebel Master here with the Chain Lightning?
Yeah, I mean, Kalturian can shoot back, but as far as I can see, Luca does not have another answer card in his hand. He can plus Duck Faden, I think, to see 2 more cards.
No, I think
Or
the
did he?
Faden is in the graveyard.
Oh wait, what is this other Planeswalker? Oh, it's
This
not a
is still
Planeswalker. I'm
this is
sorry,
still
it's
the
the Shrine.
shrine.
Couldn't see the card because of the lights. Okay, yeah, sure, it's the Shrine. So here's the shoot back of the Chain Lightning. Let's see where this goes. It's interesting.
And of course, when you take your time, the shrine is facing lethal very soon. Okay, Jace is going down. So that means next turn, the attack is already lethal if you count the 5 power from the flying creatures and the 7 damage from the shrine.
Right.
Yeah, that looks grim. Although I like it that the red opponent is going to be burned by the shrine.
Serves them right.
Yeah. How does it taste? Taste your own medicine. Yeah. Treasure Cruise.
Little ancestral recall action going on here.
Yeah, instant staple right from the start.
Yep.
Can you make an argument for that it's too powerful?
I think there are matchups where it's definitely too powerful, like the grindy ones. You grind against each other, and then one player resolves the Treasure Cruise. It's basically game over. I can see that it's not as powerful as this in other matchups, like in the combo matchup, where it's just a little bit slow because Delve is a cost.
And filling your graveyard is still work. It's not as not as easy as in other formats. You have some fetch lands, you have some cards. Maybe you play like Thought Scour or Preordain or stuff, but it's not easy to get it working until turn 5, 6, or 7. Here we see the other part of the combo, at least one same part, the Deceiver Exarch. How committed are you? Do you play some more combo pieces than those? Like you have, for example, there's a Bell Ringer in white that could work.
I think Luca plays the Bell Ringer. I think what he doesn't play is Zealous Conscripts. So the Kikijiki part, and Zealous Conscripts, right? He plays the Eldrazi one, which actually doesn't combo. A choice that I find questionable, to be honest.
The Obliterator.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. That's the 3 mana, 3/1 haste, and if you pay a colorless, which is sometimes hard to do, isn't it?
I think so.
Then you can steal a creature. Okay, we see here the combat killed the other creatures. Now there's a Mentor Strider, and that should about do it. Yeah, here, read your shrine.
He showed it. He doesn't want to go through the motions. Look, I have you dead.
Yeah,
Move
okay.
already. Okay.
All right, so it's 1-0 for Luca, and now Florian will be on the play, so we see you next game.